going? This is David, use representative for QSP Knife. We're going to go through some of the things you may have missed for a Blade show in Atlanta. We did win an award over there, which was fantastic. So great job also to Tactile Knife Co. for putting together that award. I think I have one of the images on our Instagram as well. But if you haven't seen it, we're going to do a quick run through. So a lot of these are going to be available in July 21st. So there's going to be the ones from Keanu. There's going to be the first one is going to be the Turtle Punk. Then we have run over to the collie. That's going to be this knife. A lot of different variants. Also have an aluminum variant for the collie. Then you're going to go over to the Ripley, which is based off of Aliens. So one of the main characters for Ripley. So that's where this one is named after. You also do have the Canary with the glide lock. Those are probably going to be coming out sometime in October. So keep that in mind if you weren't able to pick one up. The titanium variants in the back side there, those do not have a current date yet. So we'll see when that comes out. But all of them are really popular. I mean, they sold at the show, so that's very cool. This next one is one of my favorites for the show. That's going to be the Dolphin. This one is going to be in multiple variants. You see that on the back side, it's a polycarbonate. Then you have the wood. Then you have like a shell between two pieces of acrylic and the carbon fiber. Also, it's very much a polished blade. This one's 14T28N. So we do have some of them here. Now, some of the prototypes before they do come out. So first one up is going to be, so collie is going to be this guy. So there's two different variants that I have here. Multiple more variants that will be available. So that's going to be the collie in comparison to the standard penguin. So it's a little bit larger for the knife. So that's going to be now what it looks like. So you're going to have button lock for it, G10. This is also going to be aluminum. One of the things that we've come out with for this one also is going to be a ceramic coated blade. So it's not going to be a very smooth one. So sometimes you see that on kitchen knives for a really smooth coating. But this one is going to be more of a textured. I'll put it under a microscope to be able to show that. But a lot of difference too. So you see this is going to be the Canary. There's going to be the black stonewash, so as you touch it and everything else, you get little fingerprints and everything else on it. So that's something that is a maintenance thing for it. So one good thing about the ceramic side of things, that's where you're going to have this type of material. Very much non-stick, and also you're not going to have the fingerprints on it. This is going to be a champagne type of color for that blade. You see it's going to be very textured for that material. And there's ceramic coating for it now, so it's very cool. I don't think I've seen anybody else with the ceramic coating, at least for kitchen or for folding knives. But correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I think we're one of the first ones to do that. So that's one thing about QSP. We have a lot of different things, new materials, new handle materials. Now blade coating that might be new to the market, at least for folding knives and EDC products. So these are going to be the ones here. These are all going to be under $100 for the ones from Keanu. So that's going to be what we have here. And then just to get a size comparison, so if we have like a adult male size hand, so you're going to have kind of in this pattern. So all the way up to the extra large. Women's size hands, so kind of that sizing there, so you can get an idea as far as what this would look like for you. But if you are interested in those, a lot of dealers will have them, so that's going to be available in July. So it's coming up now pretty quick for these guys. So that was kind of a cool release for this one. And with him being at the show, you actually were able to talk to him. So that's one thing about him being there and with his wife as well. So we're going to have Keanu is here. We also do have him at the show. So this is him actually at our booth showing off some of those knives. And that was the first time he was able to get them in hand. So he did take one home with him, and we'll probably send out some other ones over to him as well. Just a nice to have your design actually in hand and being able to handle it. So that's just a really cool thing about it. So for the collie, now that's going to be based off of martial arts. So it's kind of a Filipino martial arts. So that's where a lot of times you're going to have for him, either has a name and then he designs a knife after it, or has the knife and then he finds a name for it. So it really depends on the design. I forgot which one he said he had a name for first. may have been the turtle punk, just for going off of that one, but that's going to be those. So these are the collie, a lot of different variants for this one, and then that's going to be coming out again in July. So next one up is going to be the Ripley. Ripley is going to be a glide lock style, a little bit larger in size, but this is going to be a G10 variant for this. So good sizing for what you're looking for, and then also comparison to that penguin. So if you're going to see on these, so turtle punk's about $88. We're going to have the collies for $69, and also the aluminum one for $74. And then you're going to have the Ripleys that we're just looking at here. So there's going to be the Ripley, $75, 14C28 N for the blade steel. And then it's going to be a 3.5-inch blade on this guy. So the previous one for the collie, that's going to be, what size do we have for that one? So blade size of 3.25 for blade size for the other guy. So I'll bring out the collie just to do a comparison for you. So that's going to be the different sizing for the Ripley and also for the collie. So that's going to be what you have for that. So yeah, Ripley, if you don't know who that is, if you haven't seen Aliens, that's going to be where that comes from. So that's going to be this character here. So this is off of Wikipedia. So Ripley is going to be that character, Sigourney Weaver. So that's going to be what we have for that. But the next one up is going to be, actually I have two other ones. And then we also did have a great sell-through. Canary, the fixed blade, is still doing very well for us. We're down to 2 different variants here in the States. And then we did have a replenishment on that. We also did have a replenishment on the Volt. So if you're looking for a Volt or a Canary fixed blade, then head over to the website QSPKnife.com and you can pick that up from us in that location. So next one up is going to be one that I was showing off. So sorry to the customer too. We had to work on this one a little bit, so he wasn't able to take it home. But this is going to be the Dolphin. So this is the one that has that shell inlay. So it's basically 2 pieces of acrylic with a shell between it. It's just like a white shell. I'm trying to still get the origin for what type of crustacean that would be. But this is going to be between that. We'll probably make an adjustment for it just for this end piece, which is currently proprietary for the hardware. And then we'll probably also possibly do a sheath. Since it's going to be more of a pocket drop type of knife, and it does not have any clips. But as you see on that, it has the shell pattern, and then just that really polished blade, as you see there. As you see my sealing. But that's what you're going to have for this one. This one I thought was just really well done. It's kind of a departure from some of the things you've seen from us. We've done polished blades before on some of the fixed blades, which you can still get some of the discontinued ones on the website. But this is kind of the first one that was just really stood out to me as far as something really different. So the comparison again for that guy. And then you're going to have the last one is going to be the Turtle Punk. This is actually going to be going to Keanu. So this is going to be one of the ones that he liked for the variation. As you see even on the scale, you could probably see even on picture. So it does have a turtle shell type of pattern to that G10. So not only does it have the color pattern of it, but it also does have a tactile feel. So you have kind of mounds and valleys in that handle scale. There's also one that has the ceramic coating on it, so it is very non-stick. Also, it's not going to be having fingerprints on it, so you're going to be able to handle it, use it, and actually not be able to have to keep on cleaning it. So that's something that is really nice about that ceramic coating and that ceramic finish. But as you see on this one, so it does have right left-hand carry. Also does have that different pattern to really go after that turtle feel. And then if you don't know what a turtle punk would be, so that is based off of the Mohawk turtle. So this is based on one that has like algae that grows on top of its head. So that's a Mohawk turtle. So that's where this comes from. So turtle punk. With that algae, it does have that Mohawk. So that's where that kind of comes from for this model. So it's a really cool looking one. This is probably these last two. You're not always going to have your favorites, but for the show, these are kind of my standouts for me. Let me know as far as what you thought for the ones that are coming out, whether it be the Canaries, for the prototypes there. We also did have a, spear point for the knife too. So we had a spear point that came out for the hedgehog, so that is coming out too. So I'll try and get a picture on that one on this video, and then we can take a look at it. But that did sell at the show, so we will be having that come out later. But we just don't have any available right now. But it's going to be right at the end of the video. I'll give you another run through on these knives here. So these are the guys, going to be the new guys. Glide lock, Dolphin, and then you're going to have that spear point right at the end. So that's a spear point hedgehog. So some people got it, some people didn't. So if you did not get one and you're looking forward to it, let your dealer know. Let us know about it, that you're looking forward to that, and reach us on Instagram or YouTube side of things. Almost to 1,000 subscribers too, so we'll get some giveaways going. So thank you very much for anybody joining along. If you have any questions on these knives, I do still have them in here, so we can kind of walk through them and actually answer any of your questions that you have for these that are coming up in the near future. And then we also do have the ones coming up. So again, 3 to 4 models per quarter roughly is what we're going to be running. So we're getting up to that, and then actually having some new models, new collaborations with some folks. So we're really concentrating on the brand for QSP for this year, and then we are going to look to do some expansion on manufacturing, probably 2026. Depends on when the paperwork goes through on that. And if you also didn't know, for QSP knives, anywhere from the $28 all the way up to $400 knife, that's going to be all hand sharpened. So if you're going to be looking through to see the consistency on it, that is a person that's doing that. So that's going to be some of that hand finishing that you get from the QSP brand for that quality, service, and price. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you guys at the next show. We do have it coming up in Utah, and we do have those awards that we did get. So we did get one for each show. So this award that we got in Atlanta, so far we've got the award for the Bison in Texas last year, and then we got the Best Production Import Folder for the Rhino with the Dune Pattern, and then this was the last one that we got, or most recent one we got, was the kitchen knife in Atlanta. So great trophy from those folks, not to take anything away from any other trophies. Great now to be awarded anything for it. Last year was the first year that we got an award, and this is going to be the third one. So far we have all 3 areas. So we have Texas, Utah, and Atlanta. So we have 3 different trophies from those folks in 2 different years. So great job to the QSP factory, all the folks that are working behind it, and thank you again for stopping by. Subscribe and let us know what you're looking for.